Hi, and welcome to the last part, 6 of reproduction. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different from the other videos. I'm not going to be explaining anything. This is basically your test. You did parts 1 to 5. So here's what I want you guys to do. Put away all your notes. You are going to do all the questions from memory. And after, you can rate yourself, and you can tell you, and then you can decide whether you need to do more revision, and you could probably try back the exam afterwards. So let's get straight into it. So this is your first question. I want you to pause the video and, to the best of your ability, come up with the answers without Googling, without going back in your notes. Get a blank sheet of paper and write your best possible answer for A parts 1, 2, and 3. Pause the video, have a go at it. Right? So I am going to show you my answers now. I'll always give you a heads up of when I'm about to show the answers, right? Look at my answers. Answer for part 1, part 2, and part 3. Read through my answers, and you can decide whether you have something very similar to what I have or not. Right now, I guarantee you the answers I am showing you here, you're going to get full marks for it in the exam, right? So don't get too discouraged if your answers are slightly different from mine, like it's worded slightly different. Once it conveys the same basic message, feel good about yourself. Let's move on to the next question. B, part 1 and part 2. This is May, June 2007, right? Great. Read the question, pause the video, and come up with your best possible answers. Answer for part 1, give it a read, right? The answer for part 2 is coming up now. This is the answer for part 2. Now, this one here was a kind of essay type question. It's 9 marks, so I came up with a very, very detailed answer. Let me move this to the side. Right, so I'm moving on to the next question. Right, so we're still on May, June 2007. Give 3 reasons why Caribbean people must be concerned about the AIDS epidemic. Pause the video, see what you can come up with. So let's view my answer. All right. Let's move on. It's worthy to note that there are plenty reasons why we should be concerned about the AIDS epidemic. This is just what I pulled out of the many, many, many valid reasons. These were my 3. Right, so May, June 2008, question 7. This one should be pretty simple. Pause the video, write out your answers. And let's view my answer. Right, so I hope you got this one correct, right? This one is supposed, it's meal, right? I put meek by mistake, but it's supposed to be meal, right? Meal condoms. So a little typo there. Sorry about that. Next question. Right? During a class discussion, students tell their teacher that a female cannot become pregnant on the first occasion she has sexual intercourse. The teacher informs the student that they are incorrect. Right? So starting from the point of ejaculation, outline the process of fertilization. It's 5 marks. So see if you can come up with a very detailed answer. Right, so let's have a look at my answer. Right, so I hope you all had something very close to this. All right, so let's move on. Right, this here is the full story of pregnancy. This is well, if you all want, this is not a question. I think I just put in this slide here just to remind everyone the full story to getting pregnant, right? So you can give it a read. This is basically our excuse to refresh your memories from slides 1 to 5, right? I'm sure when you read points 1 to 8, they will sound very, very familiar. Let's move on. Right. Write one statement which can explain the teacher's claim that a female can become pregnant on the first occasion she has sexual intercourse. Pause the video, give it a shot. Right, so let's have a look at my answer. Right. So hope you got it correct. Right. Obviously, if you have alternative answers, right? Because sometimes there are always more than one answer to a question. Feel free to quote the question. You could probably write out the question or quote the year or the time in the video the question appeared, and you could write your your answer. And if I have time, I will read through the alternative answer, which is your answer, and I could probably give you some feedback on whether your answer is also correct or wrong, right? Can't promise I would always have the time to do it, but you might get lucky. January 2013. Right, so give this a read, come up with your answers. Let's view my answers now. Right, so I hope you did very well on this question. Right, so this one is a pretty easy one also. Pause the video and good luck. Let's have a view at my answers now. Right, the umbilical cord. I think this is pretty easy, right? It's right here. You can see it, right? The umbilical cord, highlighting it here, right? All right, so let's move on. Right, so sometimes they make you draw a graph, right? To me, this is more of a maths question that comes in integrated science or HSB. Right, so give it a read. You could probably get a sheet of graph paper and try to draw it. Right, so, and when you draw it, well, I hope, well, this is a bar chart here, right? And they asked you to draw a bar chart. So I hope it looked something like that. Right? And this is the answer for part B. As you can clearly see, it goes up. The percentage does increase over the years. Good luck with this question. Let's view my answers. Right, so I hope you got this one correct, right? And even if you're getting the questions wrong, remember some of these questions, You can't predict every single question that's going to come for CSEC, right? So sometimes you will see a question and the answer is not going to be anywhere in my notes. So when you see a question like that, don't feel discouraged. Take it as an opportunity to identify something that has not been taught, and now you know the answer, right? So think of it as a positive thing, that something new was learned. Let's move on. June 2013, question 2. Good luck. Well, the answer for B part 1, I revealed the answer by mistake, but at least you have A2 part A. Let's view my answer. Let's move on. Good luck. This is my answer. Right, so I hope this answer makes sense. Right, it's 4 marks, so I tried to give it a very detailed explanation. Let's move on. Right, so this question here is based on a menstrual cycle. I believe I spent a lot of time on this one. I believe this was, I believe it was video 3 out of 6, I'm guessing. Right, so give this one a good read and give this one a really, really good shot on your own. Now let's see my answer for part 1. Let's move on. Right, so this question is part C then. They want to know what happens between day 6 and day 14. No. Let's view my answer. All right, so let's move on. Right. Let's have a look at my answers now. Right, so I really hope you guys are pausing the videos and really and honestly trying the questions on your own first. Right, now, but this is the last video in this series, and this is where you test yourself now. Right, to know whether you are ready for the exam or not. Right, so these are my answers. Let's move on to the next slide. All right, let's view my answer. Right, so I hope you got this one correct. Let's go. So how would you rate yourself? I did terrible. I need to review parts 1 to 5. Do you think that you barely passed? Or do you think you did good? Or are you a boss and you are getting 100% in CXE? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this series, right, of 6 videos on reproduction. And I hope that it helps you get a 1 in CSEC HSB. And of course, this can also help you with integrated science and Form 3 and Form 4 biology. Have a good one, guys, and please leave comments. I always like to know what you guys are thinking. And don't forget to share the video as much as you can. Take care. Have a good one.